The discovery of electricity is one of the greatest achievements in all of human history. It led to the microwave, the car, the smartphone that connects everybody to everyone else in the world. But all of those things require energy to operate. Modern society is built on energy. So today, I'm here to tell you about nuclear energy, and I've spent a lot of time researching it. I'm going to tell you what's wrong with our current energy situation, how nuclear energy can fix that, and other benefits of nuclear energy. Fossil fuels are terrible for the environment, and they're just a bad way of getting energy. Firstly, the transportation of those fossil fuels is a major driver of greenhouse gases. Tankers used to transport oil across the oceans can leak, and when they do, that oil leaking from it is 50% of ocean pollution. And that oil can stay in the water for hours to months. And when it eventually does evaporate into the air, it can move on to the mainland and damage your heart and your lungs. Secondly, land vehicles that are used to transport coal and oil also contribute to emissions. Cars can release carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, and lead. And the roads needed for the transportation also disrupts natural irrigation, which causes flooding, and releases chemicals into groundwater deposits. Now, burning of fossil fuels also harms the environment. It releases ash, sulfur oxide, which hurts your lungs and your eyes, nitrogen oxide, which kills crops, hurts your lungs too, and creates smog, and makes carbon dioxide, which traps heat on the earth, helping with global warming. And power plants that use fossil fuels do not give us much amount of energy. The article Fossil Fuel Sources, Environmental Concerns, and Waste Management says a power plant that generates 2.4 million kilowatts of power uses 20,000 tons of coal a day and releases 680 tons of sulfur oxide, 200 tons of nitrogen oxide, and 120 to 140 tons of carbon dioxide into the air. Now, with all of that damage and all the resources necessary, we only get 30 to 35% of power from those plants. Now, I want to tell you how nuclear energy can solve all those problems. Nuclear energy transportation is much safer and cleaner. The fuel rods pack more punch and only requires 4 to 5 trucks per facility to power it for a year, compared to the thousands of trucks of coal and oil needed for the other power plants. Nuclear energy makes almost zero emissions into the air. They release a tiny amount of carbon dioxide, and they're able to do this because instead of having to burn all these coal and things and having to move that exhaust somewhere else, the nuclear energy has no exhaust because you use nuclear fission. It just boils the water, which creates the steam, powers the turbines. And since it's more efficient in that way, it creates even more energy. Nuclear power plants create 1 gigawatt per plant. And the U.S. Energy Information Administration says that a normal fossil fuel power plant has to run all day, all year, to produce 800,076 megawatts. It shows that they're bad. You know, for more benefits. Nuclear energy can run at all times of the year. It can run all day. And unlike solar energy or wind energy, it is not dependent on the weather. And uranium deposits in America, they can last for 90 years, while fossil fuels can only last for 34 more years. And whenever uranium does eventually run out, scientists found thorium to be a viable replacement, and thorium can last us thousands of years. Therefore, making the power plants now will be a great investment for the future, even if it is expensive and takes a long time. The International Energy Agency says that nuclear energy has avoided the release of 56 gigatons of carbon dioxide since 1971, which is equivalent to 2 years of emission now. Robert Deutsch says that this shows that those who say that nuclear energy can't make an impact are wrong. So, in conclusion, I have given you reasons for why fossil fuels are bad for the environment, how nuclear energy can solve those problems created by them, and other benefits. So if you want to keep the lights on for the future generations, support nuclear energy.